Have you ever wondered about the blatant hypocrisy that exists in the world of international politics? Hypocrisy, a term most of us are familiar with, is the practice of claiming to have moral standards or beliefs to which one's own behavior does not conform. It's a paradox, a self-contradiction, and in the realm of global politics, it's as common as the rising sun. Picture a chessboard where nations are pawns, knights, and kings, each maneuvering to outwit the other. In this grand game, hypocrisy is a strategy that nations often employ. Now consider this scenario, a country accusing another of committing atrocities when it's guilty of the same actions. Sounds familiar, right? This is not a tale of fiction. It's a reality that we see unfold between two neighboring nations, both claiming to stand on moral high grounds while pointing fingers at each other. With this in mind, let's delve into the contrasting situations of India and Pakistan. Scene script: India and Pakistan, two nations born out of the same womb, have taken different paths, yet find themselves accused of similar transgressions. India, a vibrant democracy, faces ongoing challenges in its northernmost region of Kashmir. The area has been a hotbed of conflict and political strife for decades. Pakistan, on the other hand, a nation that has oscillated between military rule and democracy, faces similar challenges in its province of Balochistan. Both regions are rich in cultural diversity and natural resources, and both are marked by a long history of conflict and turmoil. Now let's delve into the accusations that these two nations hurl at each other. Pakistan often criticizes India for alleged human rights violations in Kashmir, pointing to the heavy military presence and allegations of excessive force. In the same breath, India counters with accusations towards Pakistan for its handling of Balochistan. They highlight the enforced disappearances, extrajudicial killings, and the suppression of political dissent in the region. So we see a dichotomy here. Two nations born from the same historical and cultural womb, dealing with similar challenges, yet quick to point out the flaws in each other's approach. It becomes a mirror image of accusations, a reflection of the other's actions. As we ponder this, we're left with a thought-provoking question. Isn't it interesting that both nations point fingers at each other while overlooking their own backyard? Now let's strip away the layers of political rhetoric and examine the facts. When we do, we unearth a striking dichotomy that is as intriguing as it is ironic. It's like looking into a mirror of duplicity. On one hand, we have Pakistan fervently condemning India's actions in Kashmir. They point fingers, decry human rights violations, and call for international intervention. Yet on the other hand, we find an eerily similar narrative unfolding within Pakistan's own borders, in Balochistan. Reports of enforced disappearances, extrajudicial killings, and the suppression of dissent are as rampant as they are in Kashmir. It's a classic case of the pot calling the kettle black. We are left wondering why the double standards, why the selectivity and outrage. This hypocrisy, this blatant disregard for consistency, does nothing but weaken the credibility of the arguments being made. So it seems that the pot is indeed calling the kettle black, wouldn't you agree? In the realm of international politics, hypocrisy is, unfortunately, a common game. In the context of India and Pakistan, we've seen this played out in stark reality. The same atrocities Pakistan accuses India of committing in Kashmir are mirrored in Pakistan's own actions in Balochistan. This is not to single out these nations, but to highlight the need for introspection in all international dealings. If you found this enlightening, don't forget to follow for more insightful discussions. Remember, the truth often lies beneath the surface.